We have lived in this beautiful Italianate Victorian in town for going on 6 months now. Enough for it to really be home for us. Everything is in its place. We have our routines, our schedules here, but at the same time, devoting most of our attention to building out our new farm and homestead on our farm that we purchased last April, so a little over a year now. The progress has felt very slow, but at the same time, it has allowed for a lot of thought, a lot of deliberation, a lot of design edits. And so we're thankful for this current stage that we're in, even though at some times we get a little impatient and we just want to spend our days on that beautiful farm. There are lots of other changes and exciting things coming for our family. Today, I am making a recipe from the Farmhouse on Boone website. It's a new one that my family has really been loving, sourdough monkey bread. Of course, the recipe on the blog is all-purpose flour, so if you're new to sourdough and you want the consistent results that happen when you use all-purpose flour, then by all means get started with that recipe. What I did today is I simply milled some hard white wheat berries and substituted it 1 for 1. So I didn't add any extra flour or anything different at all. I followed the directions except for that I used hard white whole grain flour. I've been trying to do this in all of my recipes for the health of our family, and then also a lot of you have been very curious about adapting recipes and how it works with different recipes, and so I've been spending a lot of time experimenting with that and finding that once you're really comfortable with sourdough and all-purpose flour, you can really adapt anything very, very easily. It really is, for the most part, if you're doing a hard wheat berry, a 1 for 1. Now, it doesn't always look as beautiful, but I can tell you it's just as tasty. Now, I know it's been sort of obvious, I guess, for a little while, and many of you have correctly guessed that we are expecting our 9th child this summer. So I'm a little over halfway through this pregnancy, and we are, of course, overjoyed. The kids are all super excited. I'll share more about that and a few frequently asked questions later on in this video. I wanted to put together a little capsule wardrobe for myself this summer, some bump-friendly options that I can be comfortable in, and this was super easy and inexpensive and environmentally conscious and conscious of waste with today's video sponsor, ThredUp. ThredUp is the world's largest online thrift shop. They have the site organized so that you can click through summer options. You can also sort by brand, make it to where you only see your sizes, or if you're shopping for your kids, their size. I have used this to find very many specific things that I'm looking for, either for myself or for the kids. Love that on ThredUp I can find everything for an outfit, from the outfit itself to accessories and shoes. I'm going to show you some of the things that I picked up on ThredUp. The first thing is this silk skirt from J. Crew. I really like high-waisted skirts, or even skirts that aren't high-waisted, but can be high-waisted during pregnancy because I can pair them with a tank top or some other shirt that I tuck in. This one had an estimated retail value of $248, but a ThredUp price of $58.99. Now I'm pairing this skirt with some Vince sandals with an estimated retail price of $295 and a ThredUp price of $63.99. I love easy to wear sandals like this. I'm the type of person where I'll get one pair of shoes that I like wearing all the time and I'll wear them out throughout the summer. So I like them to be high quality because I'm not good about packing separate shoes. If we're gonna get into a creek or a hike, I need something that's gonna work for everything, and ThredUp's a great place to get that without spending too much money. Next up, just a very classic everyday maternity outfit. I have this tank top from Motherhood Maternity. I really like that I have plenty of room to grow. It has an estimated retail price of $25 and a ThredUp price of $16.99. And then I paired it with some jeans from Abercrombie & Fitch. Yes, they make maternity. I had some of these with the last baby. I like them because they look like regular jeans, but then of course they have the maternity band. These jeans of course are still very cute with these Vince sandals. With pretty much every one of my pregnancies, I've always had a long knit dress, especially the ones where I'm pregnant all through the summer. It's just perfect for an easy day around the house. You can go somewhere in it as well. This one is from Gap Maternity, with an estimated retail price of $64 and a thread-up price of $22.99. I had a dress almost exactly like this in one of my recent pregnancies. I wore it so much, I wore it out. And then I happened to find one almost exactly like it, just a nice, lightweight, high-waisted dress. This isn't actually maternity at all. It just fits the bill for maternity that I know I'm gonna wear way too much, probably just make it to where it's useless after this pregnancy, but I will definitely enjoy it. It's feminine, it's comfortable. Shop hundreds of brands for a fraction of the price, all in one place. Tap my link in the description box below and use code FARMHOUSE to shop my thread-up faves and receive 50% off your first order plus free shipping. I had been meaning to cut some lilacs from the big lilac bush outside of our house. From the moment I saw it bloomed, put it off, and ended up it was barely there at all when I actually went to do it. So I captured some of that beautiful purple as well as some irises, which there are more of those coming up, and I spotted this morning a couple of peonies out front. They haven't bloomed yet, but I can't wait to cut them. With this house, we inherited a huge pile of bricks, and I just don't want to go a whole summer without any kind of garden, but we definitely don't want to go all in. The house is temporary. We won't have this garden next year. So we decided just to stack up some bricks, make it a quick little project, and we'll just put in the basics. Some herbs, a couple tomato plants, maybe some jalapenos, just somewhere to harvest a few things, make it really feel like summer, make this house feel a little bit more like home, even though that's a bit of a struggle when we know we won't be here long, but making the best of it, and I think this is a beautiful solution. Of course, we are all super excited to welcome another child later this summer. I already have dreams in our new farmhouse of where the baby will go, where the nursery will be, even though it'll just be in our room, but how that will all be set up with the new house. I thought I'd also answer a few pregnancy FAQs. I haven't done that in a while on here. One I get asked a lot is what supplements you take. Now, this has been pretty consistent through all of my pregnancies. I am taking an iron repair. So this is supposed to be a more natural form of iron. I'm also doing a grass-fed blood builder, grass-fed liver, and some magnesium. And then a prenatal. I also focus on a lot of real foods, things like raw milk, colostrum, protein, eggs, meat, you know, all of that whole food nutrition. What will the birth plan be? So the plan is like my last 6 to have a home birth, and Lord willing, I'll be sharing a birth story sometime in September on how that all went. If you are new to my channel, you can check out my previous birth stories. I have a bunch of them, and I even have one with my last birth where I did a homemaking in labor video. Now, I wasn't planning to do that, but with labor that kept stopping and starting, I ended up thinking I wasn't in labor, and so I was going to film that day, and I ended up having the baby that afternoon. And so that ended up being a really fun and special video for us. I don't know if it'll happen like that this time. It was kind of the way it all worked out, so we'll see. But at the very least, I usually do share a home birth story. Another question I get is, do I get sick during pregnancy or in the first trimester? And how do I get done the things that I need to get done during that time? So I do. I don't get as sick as other people do from what I've just compared with other friends. I don't really throw up, but I just have that feeling of nausea for the first, well, I'd say from about 6 weeks. It starts fading somewhere around 11 or 12, and then it's completely gone by 14. I feel extra tired, very less motivated. So in those times, I just get done the bare minimum, like what I have to get done. I don't really worry about taking on any extra big projects. I definitely don't expect as much from myself during that time because I know that it's going to be over soon. Thankfully for me, and I know this isn't like this for all women, but I've never felt sick past 14 weeks. So then I have 14 on to, you know, is depending on how well I'm feeling, get as much done as I need to or want to, and I can really use those first weeks to have less expectations and to get less done. As far as food cravings and nausea, this pregnancy was a little bit different. Actually, my last pregnancy was the same as this one. They were both pretty much identical, where I felt just unmotivated and sick, but not like nauseous in a way that I could only eat certain foods. I could almost pretty much eat whatever we were eating. It just didn't sound great, but if I just started eating it, I could eat it. I didn't have to go get like whatever food sounded good at that time. I think that happened maybe once where I was like, okay, what sounds really good right now is this. But other than that one time, I pretty much could eat whatever my family was having, just our normal food. I just didn't feel all that excited about eating it. Eating often really helps, something high protein. I relied a lot on crackers, cheese, and meat. I would bring those up with me to my room at night so that I had something sitting on my stomach overnight. And then anytime throughout the day between meal times, if I was a little bit hungry, I would do that. I also would make raw milk smoothies or chocolate milk where I'd take a little bit of cocoa powder, maybe some bananas and colostrum and a little bit of honey, blend that up and then sip on that throughout the morning. That seemed to really help. Again, thankfully, I don't get all that sick. I can completely live my normal life in the first trimester. I can go to all the same places. I can get my housework done, all of that, but not really take on a whole lot extra. And then so far, I still feel really great. At this time, I feel like I can just live my normal life. And I know sometime around the 3rd trimester, if I'm on my feet too much, my feet start to hurt. But other than that, so far, I haven't had any issues that really keep me down except for in the first trimester. Another question, are we going to find out the gender? Yes, we definitely plan to find out this time. So this will be 4 times that we found out and 5 times that we haven't. So we just kind of go back and forth with that. But we found out last time after not having found out for 5 times before that. And we actually really enjoyed it as a family, just kind of thinking through the name and who the little person is that's going to be joining us. I can definitely see both ways. I know it's very fun to wait until birth, but then it's also kind of special finding out midway, getting used to the gender, especially for us. We've had 6 of the same gender in a row. So getting used to, will this be something completely different or will we have another one of the same gender? So we are going to find out and I will be sharing that with you very soon. Will we be moved into the new house by the time the baby's born? Unfortunately, I do not believe so. Now coming up soon on this channel, I'm going to be sharing with you a barn raising project. So our farm has the framing of a barn and it'll be a priority for the builders and us. Luke's gonna do a lot of the painting to get that finished. And we are already thinking like, can we move in the barn? I know that's probably crazy and I know that it seems like when someone has property, everybody gets the same idea. Like, let's get a camper, let's get a tiny house, let's do something to get out onto the property. And that was not our plan. And it's still not our plan, okay? We might be in this house the whole time. But every time we go out there, it's just so peaceful. It's so beautiful. And we never want to leave. And now that there's a structure on there, Luke and I are like, how can we make this livable? Now, it wouldn't be livable in a great way because it would have a bathroom. There'd be no kitchen. We'd have to do some kind of makeshift deal. We'd have to do some makeshift deal for the washer and dryer, of course. So it probably won't happen. I'm just saying that our wheels have definitely been turning now that the utilities are almost done. We have the electric out there, the well's coming soon. There's gonna be a structure with a nice concrete floor. There'll be a bathroom in there. We're like, why are we in town again? So we'll see, but I'm pretty sure that we will be living right here when the baby is born in September. Another question I get a lot regarding pregnancy and birth and having more babies is, how old are you? So I am turning 40 later this year. I will be 39 still when the baby is born, which is such a blessing that even at this age, I'm still having babies. Everything still seems to be going fine. Now I know that there could be any complication at any age, at any time, but this pregnancy so far has been really great. It hasn't been extra challenging. It's really reminded me of the last several pregnancies that I've had, and I am 39 years old and will almost be 40 when the baby is born. Right, well, thank you all so very much for continuing to follow along with our family as it grows, as we move, as things change for us. Our story just unfolding throughout all of these years. So many of you have been following along all the way since we lived on Boone Street and we had 5 children and have just been supportive and encouraging all throughout. I really, really thank you for that. As always, thank you so much for watching. If you have any more pregnancy related questions or questions about the build, leave them down in the comments below. So I really like doing these kind of sit down videos. I do lots of these over on my podcast channel. So if you head over to Simple Farmhouse Life Podcast here on YouTube, I do these kind of sit down, talk to camera videos all the time. So I might end up doing a lot of those questions over there, but they might make it into some of these videos, especially as the build process unfolds and I'm sharing more about that. I really appreciate your questions and feedback, and I will see you in my next video. Don't forget to shop hundreds of brands for a fraction of the price, all in one place. Use my link and code Farmhouse50 to shop my ThredUp faves and receive 50% off your first order plus free shipping.